first came to Center Lake Bible Camp in 1950. The first time I remember was 57, and I think that was the first year that they had different camps.
My mom, in particular, actually went to this camp growing up. And then as she grew up, then she sent my brother and
I heard about Center Lake through my family and my church.
I first heard about Center Lake Bible Camp through my church. I was a camper here from 1983 to 1990.
My mom was a camper here a long time ago, and then she wanted me to have the same experiences as her.
A few years ago, after my wife and I moved up to this area, we drove by and my wife's like, "Oh, look, Center Lake. I used to go here when I was in Campus Crusade for Christ when she was at Michigan State." And we always just kind of dreamed about the possibility of maybe being able to work here or serve here or just do some things for this camp. And here we are.
From my mother-in-law, actually. She gifted it as a gift to my son 6 years ago for his birthday.
When I would be in the back of the car when we were dropping my sisters off, and I would always beg to go, but I wasn't old enough, so I couldn't.
Back in about 1998, I had recently become a Christian and got connected with the singles group at my church, and we started doing retreats.
Through our church and our pastor at our church, because he and his family were heavily involved in Center Lake Bible Camp.
I first heard of Center Lake during COVID, when they couldn't have camp, so they invited people to camp here. So we had camped here with our camper in the RV site.
I heard about Center Lake Bible Camp at Awana.
I moved to the area, and I actually had family members who worked in the kitchen at the time, and they encouraged me to come counsel.
As a kid, because there is a public access across the lake, and I used to look across the lake and see all the kids having a lot of fun, and I always wondered what it was. And it was Center Lake Camp.
And that was about 17 years ago, I think, that we started sending children here to Center Lake. And that's not the only involvement. We've also come here to camp ourselves as a family, and there's some pretty good stories behind that.
My parents came here as family campers through the church that was associated with the camp. And I was in my mom's belly, and she came to that first family camp, and they became volunteers. And so I was here as a little kid when my parents would volunteer in every family camp. And I finally got big enough to become a camper.
So I got involved as a camp speaker beginning in 2001. This is now my 21st season, and I owe it really to my 9 and 10-year-old who at the time came to camp and were excited about it.
First heard about Center Lake Bible Camp when I was in college in 2017 from someone when we were here at fall retreat for college.
So I think the first time that I probably came to Center Lake, it would have to be the mid or later 80s. My parents used to come up here with our church for family camp, which is the same as I'm doing this year with my own kids. Camp was just a really unique place to be able to experience that time with my family.